Welcome back to the Passport Pals podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Olivia.
And we're the Passport Pals.
Happy Friday, friends. It's Friday. We made it through the week.
Yeah,
Yay.
thankfully.
Thankfully, we made it to Friday. If you tuned in on Monday or any time during this week, you would have heard us talk about everything there is to know about the celebrity silhouette so that you can plan your own trip. But this episode, we are going to recount everything that we did on our trip on the celebrity silhouette, which this is an exciting one because we were celebrating somebody's birthday.
I wonder who.
It wasn't me.
I guess it was my birthday then.
It was. What big age did you turn?
24.
24.
Next year is going to be even bigger.
Which is really cool. You spent 23 at sea and 24 at sea.
Wow, it's got to be a tradition now. Uh-oh.
Big plans for next year?
Group cruise?
Oh.
I don't know.
Whoa, that was crazy lore you just dropped.
I better start planning now. But we had a good cruise celebrating my birthday. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. So we were on the Celebrity Silhouette for 3 days. We went to Key West and
Bimini,
Bahamas.
And we sailed out of Fort Lauderdale.
Yep, we sailed out of Fort Lauderdale.
Friday, we drove down. You actually worked that same day.
Yes.
Which was crazy. But we booked this a week out. So she had to work, unfortunately, the same day we left.
Well, like I totally could have gotten off, but if you can work, why not work? And I was, thankful and lucky enough to have the best manager ever.
Shout out.
Shout out if you're listening. And I was able to get off a little early that morning. So we moseyed on down to Fort Lauderdale.
Which, again, that drive is still not quick from Orlando. I hated every second of it. I did.
And we barely made it, baby.
We did barely make it. So we did leave a little later in the morning. And we were racing to get on. Yeah. We pulled in about like 2 o'clock and final call was 2:30, which I think is the latest that we've pushed getting on a ship before. We
are big, like, get on the ship as early as possible, people.
Especially on a short cruise. Like, we're only here for 3 days. Let's get on 11 a.m., get right on and beat everyone and have more fun than everyone else.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that.
Oh, and in Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, during this... when we were leaving, there was some sort of Navy military event.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
It was called Fleet Week. I don't really know what Fleet Week is, but it was this big military Navy event. So the port was busy. So I was also stressed that I didn't know where we were going. There was Fleet Week was happening. Yeah. We had 15 minutes to get on board.
There were like these naval men being like, "Are you here for the event or the cruise?" We were like, "The cruise." In our like beach attire and luggage, excessive luggage.
Yeah. Also another note on Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, though, it's like locked down. When you get into the port, they check everybody's IDs in the car, which no other cruise port I've been at has done that, but it's like a secure port. I don't know if it's because there's a military dock in this port, or I think that's a big shipping port as well. So I don't know, but it's locked down. So you got to go through a guard gate. They check everyone's IDs. So that's just something interesting about Port Everglades. But we made it. We parked and we got on board. It's both of our very first celebrity cruise ever, which was exciting.
Yeah, we've been wanting to go on Celebrity for quite a while now. The Celebrity Silhouette too, specifically.
Yeah, this ship specifically. And I'm glad we finally got to do it.
Me too.
Because it was amazing. Spoiler alert. We had a good time.
We did.
But we boarded the ship, and since we were pushing our limits, we got right on. We also carried our luggage on because there was no more porters. That's how late it was. But it wasn't that bad because we got on late. Our rooms were already ready. So typically, I guess when we're getting on at like 11 a.m., we don't want to carry suitcases around for 3 hours.
That's true.
It was very easy, very smooth getting on the ship.
Yeah. So that's the first thing we did was went to our room just because it was ready. We had luggage, so on and so forth.
And boarding day chaos was ensuing. Elevators, walkways, everybody was packed. But again, that happens on every
bring
boarding
your patience
day.
pans, pack your zannies. if you get anxious. Yeah, so what was our room number? Just for future reference, if you want to stay in our room. 9150. So we were in room 9150. It was an interior cabin, which
I gotta say, was one of the best inside rooms I've ever been in.
it was stunning.
Large and in charge.
Yes.
So much storage, but more specifically, the bathroom.
Oh,
The bathroom was huge.
Yes.
There was so much space. I could have done.
The bathroom was the size of our set.
Yeah, it was huge. There were so many cabinets, cubbies, counter space. I could do a twirl in the middle of the bathroom without. I tried touching both walls. I couldn't, which was insane.
That is such an interesting way to measure.
I tried putting my arms out. I could not touch the opposing walls.
Yeah, which typically you can.
Yeah, it was a really spacious inside
Even the
room.
shower.
Yeah.
Like there was some decent room in that shower. You could really move about in there.
Yeah, it was really nice. So I was really impressed with the room, the size. It did show a bit of its wear. Like you could tell maybe like the styling was still like relevant. It didn't look outdated in that way, but there was some like scuffs on the wall.
Yeah.
So it did show a little wear, but it was very spacious, clean, lots of storage. So I was very happy.
We were so impressed. It was really nice in there.
It was, yeah.
It was really nice. But yeah, we went to our room. We gawked at it for a little while. We were like, heck yeah, this is going to be so much fun.
And then they actually called us and yelled at us.
They did?
Yes, because we didn't go to our muster station because we boarded so late. They were like, "Hello, please come to the theater. You need to do your muster station right now."
Yes. So we did not mosey.
Yeah,
we
scurried.
ran. We scurried.
But it was nice though that they said come to the theater. Like we didn't have to think. That was nice that they checked in on us and they were like, "Okay, come to the theater, please."
True.
And that we did. So on Celebrity, they do just do the virtual check-in muster where you just have to scan your card and they say, come here. So you don't have to sit through a long thing. So that was nice. Our station was in the theater. And then I think we went and grabbed a coffee at Cafe El Baccio.
Yes, we hadn't eaten up until this point. And so the fun thing about Cafe El Baccio, if you heard on Monday, they have the pastries. This is where the pastry debacle ensues. Okay? So if you heard us talk on Monday, they have included pastries at the coffee bar. Coffee is extra. They also have a vast variety of teas.
Yeah, which was cool.
For all of my tea drinkers. I am a tea drinker. I didn't have a tea.
But there were so many varieties.
So many cool different blends of tea. It was so rad. But next time, try a tea.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we got coffee and pastries.
But the crazy part was
we hadn't eaten. So I'm like, give me a little one of those. Give me a little one of those. And then they had like full slices of cake. And I'm like, you know what? A piece of angel food kind of sounds good. You know what didn't sound good? My cake slipped into a parchment paper bag.
No silverware, no plate for a slice of cake. It was put in a bag.
No plate. No plate. No fork.
Bagged sliced cake.
No way. No way.
So that was pretty weird and off-putting.
Yeah. And he was just like, okay.
Yeah. So, and then I did get a specialty coffee, which was very expensive and not good.
I forgot your coffee was not that good. So the coffee
was like $7.50 and it was just not good.
And it was like this big.
Yeah. Now, we did go to the to-go line. So I think that's why our cake came in a bag. I still don't think they should serve to-go cake in a bag. But there were servers walking around and you could order through them. And then food was coming out on plates. And then the drinks were coming out in like cool glasses.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend going and sitting, getting waited on because your food won't come in a bag and you'll get some good glassware and fun drinks.
Yeah, it was so cool. People had like cafe mochas that were in these fun like chalices,
like art pieces, and
it was
the
really
drinks
cool.
did look good. We just didn't have a good to-go experience. So maybe sit down and enjoy the full experience if you're going to go to Cafe El Baccio.
Yes. But nonetheless, we had our little bites. We had our little coffee.
And then we went and walked around a little bit.
We explored. We book specialty dining?
Oh, yes, that's what we did. So because it was my birthday cruise, we wanted to do specialty dining to celebrate my birthday. Because we booked this cruise a week in advance and just life is crazy. We didn't have any time to plan anything. We both worked like right up until we left and just had no time to think. So we missed the cutoff to pre-book our specialty dining. So we had to do it on board. So it was a little more expensive.
Which is fine. It wasn't like a vast
Yeah.
difference, but like if
annoying.
you want to like guarantee things or if you don't want to have to deal with it once you're on board, definitely book in advance and book well in advance because I think the window does close
3 days before your cruise leaves.
Yes.
I thought it was 2. So like even 2 days, I was running down to the wire and I was like, oh, maybe I can book it. No, it was 3 days.
Yeah.
So the more you know, that should have been my wish we had known. Wish we had known on a Friday episode today. You get a treat. Wish we had known the booking window closes 3 days before your cruise leaves.
Yes.
On Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. So we did go and book that. A random crazy thing also, we wanted to do specialty dining on my birthday, of course, and the restaurant we wanted was booked out for a wedding.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool for the wedding. They had the whole reception in the Tuscan Grill, which is cool and amazing. But so even if we had pre-booked it, we were hearing other people say like, oh, our reservation got canceled. We were supposed to be here last night. So I guess that could happen. Beware of that. A wedding could boot you. So just be flexible. But we did book our specialty dining. We booked it for the last day. We thought it would be a nice end to the cruise since we couldn't do it on my birthday for the wedding.
Your birthday was on Saturday
Yes.
and the last day of the cruise was on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it started on Friday. So like,
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal, but it was just like, oh, that's stinks.
yeah.
But we got
it was
over it.
nice
It wasn't a deal
hoorah.
breaker.
Yeah. It was a nice like final hurrah.
And I am kind of glad it ended up on the last day because I don't think I would have been ready to eat on my birthday.
Yeah, no. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But so we booked specialty dining and then you disappeared.
Oh, yeah. So we were like walking around exploring a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had plans. Okay. This is a thing that Josh and I do. We've done it since we lived together. Your family has done this forever, but I kind of started doing it once we started living together because you did it. But we kind of go all out when it comes to birthdays in terms of like decor. So the last cruise we did at sea for your birthday, I decorated the room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I pulled that one off.
I think you just told me, hey, go to the casino. I'm going to go back to the room for a little bit.
When we did your 23rd, I might have just been like, I'm going to go lay down or something. I don't even know. But I pulled that one off and that one slayed. So I had to top it. So I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to go back to the room. And I'm like, wink, wink, cough, cough, nudge, nudge, thinking like he already knows what I'm doing. It's not that like we're not keeping secrets
The surprise
anymore.
is ruined.
Yeah, I'm like whatever, it's already done. Like I'm gonna go back to the room. You go gallivant. I'll let you know when I'm done. Type deal. You know what I mean?
And I didn't catch on. I thought she was like dying.
Yeah, he thought I was going back to the room like to do some business. Like he was like
I was oblivious.
completely oblivious.
So I just went. So she went back to the room and decorated the room, which was very lovely.
Well, and I didn't realize how long it had taken.
It was
me.
a while. I was getting concerned because I thought she was like sick and dying in the room.
See, I thought I was like going so fast. I was like, wow, that only took me 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was definitely like over an hour. And right when I just pulled out my phone to text her, like, are you good? And she's like, where are you?
Yeah. I'm like, Marco, where are you?
So I was a little concerned because I did think she was dying,
I
not
guess it was
decorating the
long
room.
because I completely missed Sail Away.
Yes. So I was just exploring. I went and checked out the pools. We started sailing away. The sail away party, there was a live band, the same live band that performed throughout the cruise, and they were amazing. And there was a lot. Another thing, there was a lot of groups on this sailing, a lot of bachelor parties, a lot of birthdays. So there was a lot of big groups just celebrating, having fun. So that was kind of rampant throughout the sail away party. And then we sailed away. Then I went to, I don't know, there was some raffle at the art auction. So I ended up there, and then that's where we met back up.
Well, on Let the Record Show, I totally fumbled because there were people walking around with like sashes and crowns and fun matching t-shirts and fun matching outfits. And I'm looking around and I'm like, nobody knows it's your birthday.
It's okay. Life is so hard.
It is so
we
hard.
We had no time to prepare
and we
or
booked
think
it
about
like
anything.
6 days in advance. So cut me some slack. I swear I'm not a bad friend. But let me tell you, I decorated this room.
It was very impressive.
Top to bottom, baby. I decorated her.
You had a run-in with our stateroom attendant.
I did. So as I'm doing this, I like was putting things outside the door. I was putting things inside. I was blowing up balloons as I'm like hanging things. I'm like, you know, blowing up balloons and stuff. And all of a sudden I opened the door to put something on the door. And she, our stateroom attendant, very nice lady.
She was wonderful.
She was wonderful, incredible the entire cruise. But she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, thinking she's going to be like, how fun. And she looks at me and she goes, remember, you can't tape anything.
Meanwhile, the room was taped.
The room, 2 rolls. I had taped, and I was like, oh, okay. Just like thinking, I'm gonna put the do not disturb sign on the door for the whole weekend and make my own bed, I guess. And she'll just have to come in Monday morning when I'm not here anymore. Yeah, so I had a little run-in with her, but it ended up all being okay.
Yeah,
so
jumping ahead a little, when we did do the reveal, she was there and she's like, oh, it's great.
Yeah, I guess she had gone into the room after I was like completely finished, but before Josh had seen it. And she was like, I walked in and I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but oh, wow. But nonetheless, so I get back to Josh.
Yeah.
And I felt like he was a little like, not peeved, but like, I don't know what the word is. Like, you were concerned.
I was concerned. I thought you were dying.
Yeah. And
but then
was
right
like,
when she came back, it all kind of clicked. And I was like, are you good? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
Oh, it clicked. It clicked. Yeah, no, I was good. I was a little breathless, but I was good. I was like all excited to show him too. I'm like, hee hee. Even though I totally thought he knew what was going on.
Yeah, no, had no idea.
So anyways, I ended up finding you. I was so sad I missed Sail Away.
Yeah.
I mean,
you should have did it later.
But there was no other time to do it.
I guess there wasn't.
We got on board so late.
Yeah.
Your birthday was the next morning, and there was no other time that I could be like, go on your own. Mm-hmm. You know, like we were going to go to dinner. We were going to go see a show. We were going to do whatever. Mm-hmm. I was planning on doing it while you were sleeping. Mm. But then I was like, how am I going to do that? Like standing there blowing up 50 balloons is impossible to do while someone is sleeping. But then I saw our bathroom and I was like, no, I could totally sit in here and do it. And then just like bring them all out, you know? I was like scheming, like plotting, scheming, planning in my head. How am I going to do this? And eventually it just came down to like, I'm gonna go. But little did I know, you thought I was like
dying,
having an issue.
But then once you re-arrived, what did we do?
We went to the lounge, the nightclub lounge. And you got a drink.
Yeah. So yeah, we went up to the Sky Lounge, which is at the very top of the ship. Floor to ceiling windows. All you can see is ocean. And I got my first drink of the cruise. And funnily enough, they had astrology themed cocktails on the menu. And I'm a Taurus. They had a Taurus cocktail. So I thought, what is more fitting to kick off the birthday cruise than a Taurus cocktail? So that I got, which was delicious. But that is when, if you remember from our last episode, the sticker shock of the very expensive drinks on celebrity cruises hit.
Tragedy struck.
Tragedy did struck. And I realized that my drink bill was gonna be a little higher than I thought it was gonna be this cruise, but that was okay. It was just some sticker shock.
Yeah.
We sat up there, enjoyed a drink, and then we went to dinner. I think we decided we needed to go to dinner early because there was a night full of activity.
But before we did that, we went up to the lawn.
Yeah, we're like, let's go see the real grass on a cruise ship. We get to the lawn, the real grass on a cruise ship. Oh, the grass is taking a vacation.
The grass was taking a vacay.
On our vacation.
Which was a big old bummer.
It was a big bummer. And spoiler alert, I thought it was just going to be maybe the first day. It needed some sun to recoup from the last cruise, right? The lawn was closed the entire 3-day cruise, unfortunately. So
no touching grass.
We did not get to lay out on the grass, play bocce ball, watch a movie on the grass under the stars. We didn't get to do any of that. I was so excited to have real grass.
Yeah, that was something that was kind of like a highlight for us that we were looking forward to on this specific ship.
Yeah, and they don't have real grass on all celebrity ships. It's this class of ship, the Solstice class. There's like 4 ships.
And we were just a little devastated. We were looking
very
forward to just
devastating.
sitting on grass in the middle of the ocean. How fun is that?
Well, where else can you do that?
We don't know how fun that is because we didn't
will
get to
never
do
know.
it. We will know.
Oh, we will. You're right. We were going to Iceland on this ship.
Yeah, exactly.
But we went to the grass. We're disappointed, and then we did a little more exploring of the top decks. We took lots of pictures.
We did. It was really great lighting.
It was good lighting.
And you had a fun new gadget that we could use.
I got a new camera, the DJI Pocket 3. Shout out.
Little birthday present.
Yeah, birthday present to myself. I got it because we were just on the World America like 2 weeks before, and we were on a media sailing, like we said in our previous episodes. Go watch those episodes on the World America if you haven't already. But every content creator had this stupid camera, and I felt left out. So this was the first cruise I got to test out my new camera, but
the FOMO got to you.
it did get to me. But we took lots of fun pictures and videos on the camera, and they came out well.
They did.
And then we ended at the Sunset Bar before going to dinner, which had a lot of fun seating. We didn't hang out there much, but we just popped back there, and it was a really cool spot though in the back of the
seating.
ship.
This ship had a lot of rocking chairs, which sounds peculiar.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a stupid thing to mention, but
There was a lot of rocking chairs.
when you're on a cruise ship, it's rare to find a chair that like swivels or rocks. It's nice to lounge and be like...
And in multiple locations. It's not like one room had all the rocking chairs. The Sky Lounge had rocking chairs. The Sunset Bar had rocking chairs.
Yeah, there were rocking chairs, and I was like, this is nice. I enjoy sitting in the sun and rocking back and forth. I felt like a little newborn again. I was like, this is lovely. But yeah, rocking chairs. Lots of comfortable seating on this ship.
Yeah, so many varieties, and yeah, very good seating.
Yeah, but nonetheless. So then we ended up at dinner.
We had My Time Dining. I think they call it Celebrity Select on Celebrity. Don't quote me on that. But we were going to pre-book a time because you can pre-book a time with My Time Dining, but we didn't like the 2 times that they offered. And the lady was like, it's never really a long wait anyways. You'll be fine. And I was skeptical. But every time we went, we waited probably no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, and there was a pretty decent line every single time we went. So
and it did move fast, so that was good to know.
If you see a big scary line, don't fret. It took us tops 10 minutes to sit down.
And yeah, the first night I think it took the longest 10 minutes, and the second night I think we went right away.
Yeah.
So not bad at all. But we had our first meal in the main dining room, our first food review of Celebrity Cruises because we didn't eat lunch because we got on so late. What did you think of the food?
We had different things. The first night I struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
The first night I was like, uh-oh. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
The most memorable thing that I can remember where I was really alarmed was my main course. They had like chefs select
specials, which was cool. It was a fun idea. The waiter was like, "Oh, this isn't on the menu, but our chef cooked up something cool for you."
BT dubs, and I'm like, "Well, obviously I'm gonna have that. If the fun chef said that it's good and wants to serve it to me, why wouldn't I pick that?" So it was like a teriyaki salmon, which I'm a big fish girl. I love to eat fish, and specifically salmon. But if you know anything about salmon, it's on the flakier, drier side when cooked, if you catch my drift. When this arrived, it was not flaky nor dry. It was, in fact, mushy and moist.
Yeah, I didn't try it, but it looked like a really bad consistency for salmon.
Yeah, and I was sitting there and I was like, I am unsure if this was cooked properly. Like, I know it was cooked because it was hot, so obviously, but the consistency was rather peculiar for
weird.
Like a typically flaky fish. So I was just a little disappointed and concerned. Like, I just didn't know if that was going to consistently be the experience with the food where I was like, this is like an experimental situation that they're trying to pull off, and they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know. I haven't heard of teriyaki salmon anywhere else. I was like, okay, cool. I'll try it. Whatever. Fun little combo flavors. But yeah, I just remember being a little disappointed. And then our dessert was just kind of like lackluster. Appetizers obviously weren't memorable because I don't even remember what I ate.
You got a salad and you didn't like how they serve your dressing.
Yeah, what the heck was that? What was that?
So if you get a salad, then the waiter comes back with like a container of dressing, and he's like, "How much do you want?"
Yeah, and I'm like,
I don't know how much I want.
What do you mean? I haven't even tasted it. How do I know? You know?
What if I want more later? What if?
Right.
What if it's
and that
too
was my
much?
thing.
What if it's not enough?
They did the same. Oh, that's what else I had. The shrimp cocktail. And the cocktail sauce didn't come with it. In fact, he came with another reservoir of cocktail sauce. And he's like, okay, tell me when. I'm like, I don't know how many dips I want to put my shrimp in the cocktail sauce. What if I end up wanting a little bit more? Why can't you just bring me a little...
Yeah, ramekin.
Yeah.
And let me add them to taste. Because then if he pours too much, then it's ruined.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't really control your sausage.
Now, we did like... You can't really control your what now? Run that by me again.
Sausage.
No.
But like sauce dash age. Like drinkage. Yeah, no. But
anyway, we did really like the butter.
The bread and butter service. They had not like little packets of butter. They had 3 spreads that you could choose.
Yes.
The bread was really good, and I liked all the spreads. There were
a few.
And they changed like the second nights too.
Yeah, there were 3 options each night. The first night there was butter, blue cheese, something or other,
and something else.
And then like a hollandaise,
yes.
I think.
I love the blue cheese spread, and I'm kind of touch and go on blue cheese and stuff, but it was really good.
I'm touch and go on blue cheese and stuff. And sausage.
But so that was fun that they had the 3 spreads you could choose from.
Yeah, we love a spread.
Yeah. And so the bread service was a highlight. But yeah, I didn't really like my first night's meal either. I was kind of unimpressed. Now, I always say cruise food across all cruise lines is not that good. And I was hoping that Celebrity would change my mind, but this first night dinner did not change my mind. It was just food. So I didn't have a bad, like my meal was fine. It was just kind of bland and boring.
See, and I find that to be on par with most of my Royal Caribbean dining experiences. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Royal Caribbean has never topped my list for food. I'm really anything. Like, I don't have like people rave about the chocolate cake on Royal Caribbean, and I'm like, baby, it tastes like boxed chocolate cake. Which there's nothing wrong with boxed chocolate cake, but I'm like, it's nothing memorable. Like, I'm not dying to book a cruise just to have their chocolate cake again, if that makes sense. So I just don't think that their food is ever memorable to me. And if it is memorable, it's not for good reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm thinking about Royal Caribbean food, it's because I'm complaining about it.
Yeah. I was wondering if Celebrity, their sister company brand, whatever, would be any different. And it was pretty similar, just like mid. Very mid.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with. I was just hoping that they would surprise us.
Well, we've heard nothing but good things about Celebrity's food.
Yeah.
But we just were kind of unimpressed. I don't know.
But then after dinner, I don't even know what we did. After dinner, we went back to the room to get our glasses for the 80s party, which is when I saw the decoration for the first time, which was a wonderful big reveal. She really did outdo herself. That was crazy.
Yeah, I thought that we were on a transatlantic cruise for his 23rd, and I was like, oh yeah, I slayed.
Which she did, but this one was a slay times 2.
Yeah, not nearly as well as I did this one. I was like climbing on beds and chairs and Celebrity Cruises. If you're listening, no, I wasn't. And like taping things.
No tape was used.
Only magnets.
So,
It was fun. It was exciting to like decorate.
It was good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
So yeah, we ran back to the room. I saw all the fun decor, and then I brought these like light up glasses. That was our contribution to the 80s party. And they were not good. They were like blinding us and giving us headaches.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, and we typically try and be as on theme as possible with the theme nights. We're big themers.
Yeah.
We like to have fun and participate and dress up, but we just weren't prepared.
Oh, in our intro video on our podcast, if you watch on YouTube, watch us on YouTube. In the intro video, there's a clip of us with our flashing glasses. That's from the 80s party.
That's
on the
about how
Silhouette.
long they stayed on.
Yes, we put them on back for the clip and took them right off because the glasses, they didn't have like an on mode. If they were just on, it would okay, but it was a rapid flash right in your eyes.
Yes. I couldn't see anything.
No.
My peripheral gone.
Yeah.
My front vision gone.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
So we went to the 80s party, which I kind of didn't like.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know.
so glad you said that. I am so glad you said that. I thought I was going to have to pretend to be like, it was so fun. It was kind of boring.
And I like 80s music, but like it wasn't good.
There was nothing happening. Usually when there's some sort of themed party, there's like entertainment staff.
Ooh, you know, Royal Caribbean does an 80s party, and maybe I was thinking it would be more like that because they're the same, but
it was in the
Grand Foyer,
which is beautiful until there's 300 people trying to dance to 80s music.
Yeah.
There were a lot of tipsy groups taking up a lot of space, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, take up space, be as loud and as fun as you want. It's a cruise for a reason, but
there was just no room for us to also take up space.
Yeah, and it was like if you were on the outskirts, you weren't part of the party, if that makes sense. Like, it was so localized into one section of the ship where it was like, at this point, I'm just listening to the music. I'm not having fun. So, yeah, it was... They tried.
Yeah, and then at the end of the party, though, they had that band come on, which we did really like.
Yeah.
And they were good, and they started singing songs. But then they were singing Don't Stop Believin' for like 10 minutes straight. And we're like, we'll wait till the next song and then go to the show. And Don't Stop Believin'
never ended.
Which, it sounded great, so it was great.
And we love Don't Stop Believin', but we don't like the All Too Well version. Like... It was crazy. Yeah. It just kept going. Like,
and we're like, okay, I guess the show's starting. We gotta go. Yeah. Sorry.
So with that, we left
and went to the show in the theater. It was an original production show. It was called Boogie Wonderland.
Oh, it was so fun.
What decade of music is that? The 70s? So that song, Boogie Wonderland.
Yeah, whatever that decade
so,
is.
yeah, all that kind of music. But it was really fun. And I was really impressed with the quality of the show, like the sets, the lighting, the performers, which I guess I shouldn't have been surprised because Royal Caribbean does like entertainment really well, and since they're the same company. But I was just really impressed with the quality and the level of the show.
I have heard nothing but good things about Celebrities Entertainment, and I agree.
Yeah, the entertainment was really good.
So impressed. And the cast was phenomenal. They were so really engaging. And they made it like, sometimes when you watch cruise performances, I'm like she makes that look really hard. And then this one, I was like, I could get up there right now and be Boogie Wonderlanding with them. And I totally couldn't. Like, let the record show, totally could not be doing what these people were doing because they were phenomenal. But they made it look so effortless.
Even though it was so
like,
hard
and I'm
technical.
Like, I want to get up there and Boogie Wonderland with you. Like, put me in, coach.
Yeah. And it was a large cast. Like, there was a lot of dancers.
Yes. I loved it. It just kept, like, it kept it pumping. It kept it flowing. People were engaged and having fun. And yeah, it was really good.
It was a really good show. I wish there was more. Now, it was only a 3-night cruise, but I wish we got more of the production shows because the next 2 nights, I think it was just like the comedian juggling people, which we never went back and saw.
No.
Because we're not the biggest fans of those. But,
no.
But yeah, the production show was fantastic. And then after that, this is why we had to eat dinner early because there was a packed night full of activities. So after the show, then there was an ABBA party in the Grand Foyer again. That one was more fun than the 80s party.
See, I just am not with you.
I mean, it still wasn't my favorite cruise ship party. Like, it wasn't the best time of my life, but I did enjoy it more than the 80s party.
I think that they need to change the venues. It was too packed. Like, you couldn't move. And people were, like, bumping into you. And, like, people were just, like, on the stairs, which is really dangerous.
Yeah, we were trapped on the stairs because we couldn't make it further into the dance floor.
Yeah, we couldn't move. And I was like, I'm getting bumped every which way, and people need to be able to get on the stairs. Like, you need to be able to walk. And you would think,
though, like, if people were congregating on the stairs, people wouldn't use that staircase.
No,
people still were.
They were. They were. And there was and it was so loud and chaotic that, like, obviously, even if you're saying, excuse me, it's not going to be heard. Or even if you're saying whatever, it's not going to be heard. But
yeah, I
like,
guess
people were just grabbing up on me, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on?
But yeah, then it also wasn't as fun if you weren't in the middle of it. But if you were in the middle of it, it was too much. So yeah, I guess.
We eventually just got up on out of there.
We had enough of the Grand Foyer party and went upstairs and grabbed some pizza.
That is the good thing about eating early, is that
you can have a late night snack and enjoy it.
And their late night snacks were open late.
Yes, they were open really late, and they had a good variety. There was pizza, pasta, fruits, desserts. Like, there was
like sandwiches.
Yes, there was a good variety, and it was open really late, which was nice. So we went and had a snack, and
it was good.
It was good pizza. I really did enjoy it. So shout out, Celebrity does have some good pizza. It's kind of up there in the rankings, way better than Royal Caribbean pizza. I hate Royal Caribbean pizza. Maybe that's a hot take.
Sorrento's?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not good pizza. It's like cardboard Chuck E. Cheese pizza, which fills a void sometimes, but, like, it's not good at all.
Oh, no. See, this is why when people are like, oh my God, I can't wait for Sorrento's, I want to tell them, go to your local Chuck E. Cheese and you'll get the same fix. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, just get a pizza from Walmart.
Yeah.
And you get the same fix.
But this was like good pizza. It was better than most other cruise pizzas I've had.
I agree.
I think top 3, MSC, Virgin Voyages, Celebrity for cruise pizza.
My top 3 would be MSC, MSC, and MSC.
They do have really amazing pizza.
That is all. Thank you.
But back to the Celebrity Silhouette. We went to the casino, spent about like an hour there, and then it was midnight.
And then it was birthday boy time.
Birthday time. I did ring in midnight for my birthday with a shot from the bar.
Which, mind you, was a really stressful experience.
It was.
Because we went to a bar at the casino and literally nobody would serve us. Like, they were standing about and they were like, we'll be right with you. And I'm like, we have 48 seconds. I need you to get going. And then we went to a different bar and they were like, nah, we're closed. Go over there. So then we ran over to the Martini bar,
which was not the best option. They didn't have that many. They had mostly like
martini fixins.
Vodka, which I didn't want to do a shot of vodka. And then they had like one branded tequila, which was terrible. And it was like really warm, but then also we asked for a shot and he like filled up my cup.
Yeah, we asked for a shot and he gave him 6.
Yeah,
it was kind of crazy.
It was, but it was still fun. We rang in the birthday,
and it smelled like
had a
lighter
shot
fluid.
of tequila. I almost died.
Oh gosh, it was bad. But we rang in the birthday,
which was very exciting. Went back to the casino and then went to bed, so we could be ready for our day 2 birthday day in Key West.
Yes.
Which was super fun. I love Key West.
Yeah, I love Key West too.
I think it's a slept-on cruise port. A lot of people say, why would I cruise to Florida? You may have been one of them over there.
I'll see myself out.
But after cruising to Key West multiple times now, what are your thoughts on cruises to Key West? Oh, you're still...
I mean, like, it's Key West. I think it's fun, like, once. Unless you're planning and capable of spending a lot of money.
I guess that.
If you, like, we've been to Key West together twice, and both times we did basically the same thing. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, Ernest Hemingway's house is really fun. But like I said, I'm not a huge drinker. Mm-hmm. So Key West is just really not like my scene.
They have a lot of historical stuff. You can go jet skiing, parasailing.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. Unless you're willing to spend a lot of money, because we did consider doing like a sandbar boat thing where it takes you out to a sandbar, but you were looking at like upwards of $100 a person, which in the grand scheme of things, no, it's not that bad. Like,
we're just balling on a budget, though.
Right. Well, and it's just like I wasn't prepared to spend that kind of money in Key West, like for one day in Key West. And we just didn't plan in advance, and it wasn't something that we had considered. Like it was really last minute. So like, again, unless you're spending, would I go back to Key West? Yes, because I want to try different things. But even Ernest Hemingway's house is like, what, $35 a person or something like that? That's a little steep for a house.
Yeah.
That you spend 2 hours at. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's really pretty there. I love the coastal vibes. Like, I could live there for sure. I would love to, live that kind of lifestyle where I drive nothing but a golf cart and do nothing but stay on the beach and, be in a bathing suit 24/7 and flip-flops and whatever. But I'm not a huge drinker, and I don't love to spend like a crap ton of money to be in Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why am I just going to go right back to Florida? I could drive to Key West.
I know, but I don't want to drive the 8 hours to Key West.
I guess.
I love it. It's not for everyone, though.
I don't know. It's not that I don't love it. Like, I love it. It's cute. It's fun. It's a little coastal vibes. But do I love walking around in the heat tipsy? No. Like, it's not. I'm tired. I'm hot. We've been walking for ages. Now I'm like drunk. I don't feel good. Like, all I want is food, but I can't find anything but sweets. Yeah. Just not my scene. Yeah. Would I go back? Okay. Did I love the Ernest Hemingway house? Absolutely. Would I go back and try like a sandbar type deal, boat tour, excursion, fun thing? Yeah. But I live in Florida. Yeah. Like, I could go to downtown Orlando and do a bar crawl. If that's really the goal. Like, yeah. I don't know. I just, like, a fun themed bar that's 20 minutes from here. You know what I mean? But you don't feel that way.
I don't. But that's okay. That's good that we have differing opinions.
Yeah. I mean,
let us know down in the comments. What do you guys think of Key West? Are you a big Key West fan? Do you think it's overrated for a cruise stop? What do you guys think? Have you cruised to Key West? Would you? Let us know.
Yeah.
But then back to the start of the day. So I wanted to start the day off laying out by the pool.
Well, okay. It took everything in my power to wake him up.
Really? Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Everything. Okay.
Because we were trying to wake up at like 7:30, 8, so we could enjoy the pool.
We were like 60 alarms in. And I'm like,
I forgot about this.
I'm like, I know it's your birthday. So if the goal is sleeping in, we can totally do that. But you didn't want to. You set the alarms.
Yeah.
So I was like up and ready. I'm like in a swimsuit, makeup on, ready to conquer the day. I'm like, yes, let's get kicking. We're going to spend a few hours by the pool. We're going to have a nice little breakfast. We're going to, lay out, and then we're going to get dressed, and we're going to go have fun in Key West, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do this. And I look over and he's like under the covers, eyes closed.
Yeah, I was sleepy.
And I'm like, wake up right now. We are not sleeping your 24th birthday away.
Just wanted 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes.
Baby, 10 more minutes turns into an hour and a half.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that hour and a half of sleep, so it was
good.
Nice.
I'm glad. That's really, yeah, I just didn't want you to be disappointed.
But then I eventually got up and we got ready. So we got changed in our swimsuits. We're going to go lay out by the pool for a few hours before heading out to Key West. Mind you, again, we're in an inside room. So this is where one of those negatives comes in. We get in the elevator. We go up to deck 15. We walk outside and it's raining.
Gray skies,
and it starts sprinkling. So
a cloud over Key West.
We had no idea that it was raining at all, and we were ready to go jump in the pool. So then we headed to get some breakfast and hoped that the rain would go away. We went to the Ocean View Cafe, the buffet. I really enjoyed the breakfast in the buffet.
Yes, the breakfast in the buffet was really good.
They had a lot of good options.
And we aren't real big breakfast people, except when we're on a cruise, we typically eat breakfast.
The pastries were really good. They had this like egg bake, which I really liked. I don't know. It was just really good. So
Lots of options. They had like a make your own omelet station, which was nice. Long lines, but probably worth it. I don't know. We didn't try it.
No, but it was all good. And then we ended up, because it was still kind of gray and cloudy, we ended up going to the solarium, the indoor pool, for a couple hours. And it was really nice. It was empty in there.
It was. So we found a vacant hot tub, which then became not vacant.
Yeah, then these people joined us, which is always, I hate that. It's like, let me enjoy my hot tub. But I know there's 3,000 other people. We got to share. But we ended up talking to them, and it was nice.
Yeah.
But still, I like an empty hot tub.
Yeah. We were like so happy. There was literally nobody else in the solarium.
Nope.
And there was another hot tub across the way. So like we would have gone to the hot tub across the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so we were a little bummed, but we ended up chatting and it was nice.
It was. And then we just laid out in the solarium for probably an hour after the hot tub. I went in the pool. You didn't go in, did you?
I didn't.
No, but it was nice. I had the pool to myself, and in the solarium there was very nice calm spa music.
Yeah,
it was very relaxing.
That was something I really liked about the solarium. That's not on like Royal Caribbean or anything else. So I was like, man, I feel like I'm getting this luxury spa.
Yeah, it was very zen.
Exclusive experience. There was nobody else there, and there was this like calming, relaxing music, cushy little loungers.
Oh yeah, the loungers were cushioned. That was so nice.
It was a little warm in there.
Yeah. It was nice.
It was really nice.
I think that was a great way to start out the day. And then I got a drink from the bar that I really wanted to try. Again, sticker shock, $24 for my pool bar cocktail.
And also, do not get the watermelon margarita.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a spicy watermelon margarita, which I love a spicy margarita. So, and I watched these other vloggers who got it and were like, oh, it's amazing. It wasn't good. It wasn't spicy, and it tasted like fake bubble gum somehow.
Yeah.
Even though it was watermelon.
Yeah, we were kind of shocked. I was like, this is what flavor?
And it was $24. So it was really unfortunate, but it was a very nice, relaxing start to the day. And then we got off probably by noon. We were changed and off the ship because we had to be back by 4:30. So spent the morning lounging by the pool.
And Josh had a day booked and busy and planned.
I did have a book. I had many stops in Key West. I didn't think we would hit them all, but we did.
We did.
Which
Go
was
team.
nice. So our plan was to drink and eat throughout Key West. First stop, we went to the Tiki House to get a key lime pie shot. I think even if you're not big drinkers or anything, just get a key lime pie shot from the Tiki House. Tastes just like key lime pie, which I don't know how they do that into a shot.
As a not big drinker, I like literally at the hint of alcohol, I'm like, get it away from me. That tastes like lighter fluid. But baby,
it tastes like a slice of pie.
It's so
insane.
Delicious. It's so good.
And I do love the Tiki House. So we've been to Key West before and went to the Tiki House, and it was in this small, tiny building. And when we were walking up, the building was demolished.
Yeah. And Josh goes, oh no, is it closed?
I was like, great. Birthday is ruined. We can't get key lime pie shots.
Yeah.
And then we just kept walking like, okay, we'll go to the next spot. But the Tiki House has moved to Duval Street, which is the main street in Key West. So good for them, again, I guess. But they got a nice big brand new building. They just celebrated 1 year, they said, on Duval Street, which is cool.
Which, like, let the record show it's literally around the corner.
It is around the corner.
Like, the demolished building was here, and then there's like another building, and then the corner, and then Tiki House is here. Like, it definitely is not far from their original location. We just didn't see it
Yeah, or had any idea that they had moved or it was demolished.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, also Key West is pretty walkable.
Oh, yeah.
So we were able to walk. We walked everything, and the last time we were in Key West, we walked like the entire island, which was kind of a lot.
It was
but
crazy.
It's doable.
But doable, yeah.
But even if you just want to go to Duval Street and like shop and get a drink, it's very walkable. It's all right there. But so we started at the Tiki House, got a key lime pie shot. Then we went to Tattoos and Scars. That is probably my favorite spot in Key West. It's a dive bar, so it's nothing special, but they have this drink, Tito's Limeade. They have it on tap.
Once again, as a non-drinker, that should be considered illegal and dangerous.
It is so dangerous.
I was like, either they're playing you and you're paying for something that's not there. Like, there's no way there's alcohol in this. Or like, somebody is a really magic wizard and somehow made this taste divine.
And I think it's option 2, because after 2, you feel a little good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely those are my 2 must-dos. If you're not drinking through Key West, get a key lime pie shot at the Tiki House and grab a Tito's Limeade from Tattoos and Scars. They're fun Key West themed drinks, and they're just so good. So we went there, and then we needed some food. We had a couple drinks. We hadn't really eaten since breakfast, so we needed some food in us, and we went to Garbo's. Which is a food truck. Apparently it's been on, what is that?
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
So yeah, I don't know. I heard it from word of mouth through people that you got to go to Garbo's. I thought it was like a taco food truck. It was pretty limited. They had Korean barbecue tacos, like shrimp tacos.
Like a lobster taco.
And maybe a hot dog. And that was it. So it was it was a smaller menu than I thought.
Oh, they did have those bowls.
Oh, yeah. You could do like
almost like a Chipotle bowl.
Yeah. So it was a more limited menu than I thought, but we got the Korean barbecue tacos to share, and they were really good.
Yeah, you can definitely share.
They were huge. Like
they were filling.
One taco
tacos.
was like the size of my head.
Yeah, they were big, and it was good. I will say my one thing with it is it was really rich.
It was.
And I think if it's like a really hot Florida day, I think it would have set me over the edge. As if I've like been drinking and I'm walking in the heat, I think it just would have been too much food.
Yeah.
Too rich, too many flavors, too much. But for the day that we were having, it kind of hit the spot.
It did. It was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely would stop at Garbo's for Korean barbecue tacos. And then we were just walking. I think we were on our way to Matheson's, and I
Josh
was
heard
summoned.
his siren call.
We turned the corner, and there was a Fat Tuesdays. So, of course, I had to get a drink. I love a Fat Tuesdays. I cannot pass up a boozy slushie. So we got one of them. There was a key lime pie one, so I was like, we're in Key West, I gotta get that.
We got Jello shots.
Oh yeah, they also had like $2 Jello shots. So score.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Went at Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I didn't like the key lime pie slush.
See, when you said your top 2 in Key West, I was gonna interrupt you and say that my top 2
Really?
key lime pie shot and whatever key lime pie beverage was at Fat Tuesdays, just go get it.
Now it was really good. It was a bit sweet for me, and it kind of had like a coconut hint to it, which I'm not a coconut fan.
See, to me, it was like an elevated pina colada. It was. Like a tangy, key limey pina colada with delicious like whipped cream and oh my god, it was so
good. It just was a little maybe too sweet for me. But again, didn't taste out like alcohol. I guess key lime is the way to disguise your alcohol. Whatever they do.
Write that down. But yeah,
that was a
yummy.
fun pit stop. And then we ended up at Matheson's, which is one of our favorite spots. It's a bakery that has these huge cookies. They have fudge. They have a whole bunch of everything.
Take back everything I said about Key West. I take all of it back. I love Key West. I would love to stop on every cruise. I would love to stop in Key West. I would just love to. We don't even have to stay there long. We can stay for 2 hours. I love Key West. I repeat, I love Key West. I would love to go back to Key West. Matheson's, if you are listening,
we love you.
We love you.
The cookies it's the best cookie I've probably ever had in my life.
Yeah, they are so good.
Yeah, we got the chocolate chip and the snickerdoodle. The chocolate chip is just unreal.
Yeah, last time we shared a chocolate chip because these cookies are like massive.
I think they're half-pound cookies. I could be making that
no,
up, but that
I think
sounds
they
about
are
right.
half pound. And we were planning on getting something different this time around, but then we both were looking at each other like,
The chocolate chip was just so good. We can't not get it.
we have to get a chocolate chip. So we shared both of them. But
They were delicious.
so good.
And they also have fudge and so many other good treats, which we...
Ice cream and macaroons and fudge and all kinds of fun things.
They also had key lime pie there too, but we had that planned for later. So we skipped out on that. But yeah.
So
highly
many
recommend.
fun things.
Matheson's, get a sweet treat. The cookies are amazing.
And there's a few in Key West.
Yeah. There was at least 2 locations.
Yes.
Maybe more. So kind of wherever you're spending your day, you can find us pit stop there. But then our day was winding down. That was pretty much everything I had wanted to do. We stopped at CVS to buy some like toiletry I needed. Then we were kind of on our way back and I'm like, okay, I guess we have time. Let's stop somewhere else. So we went to there in Key West, there is a naked bar. We didn't go to the naked bar, but the naked bar is 3 levels. The 3rd floor is the naked bar, but there's 2 other levels, which we stayed down there. So it's called the Bull and the Whistle, and then the Garden of Eden's the naked bar on top. So if that's your scene, go for it. But
Beware.
But the Bull on the 1st floor has live music, and they had some sort of drink deal, 2 for 1 something. I don't really know what it was.
I think it was margaritas because you were like, how can I pass up a 2 for 1 margarita?
I think it was, yeah. Well, margaritas 2 for 1. And then on the 2nd floor, all well drinks are 2 for 1. Yeah, the 1st floor was just margaritas. The 2nd floor was all well drinks 2 for 1. So we went up to the 2nd floor and there's this outdoor patio that kind of overlooks Key West. So it's nice to get a cheap drink 2 for 1 and just sit out there and take in the views of Key West.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. And then now the clock was ticking though. 4:30 was quickly approaching. So we were on our way. It was probably like 4 o'clock, maybe even 4:15, and I'm like, let's go to Captain Tony's. It's on the way. I saw people walking with Captain Tony's cups. I'm like, I need one. I don't need one, but I do need one.
He's drunk. What are we gonna? How am I gonna get him to get back to the ship? He's losing it. I'm like, okay, you're serious? It's 4:17. Like, what do you mean?
And we still had to get key lime pie.
Yeah.
So we went to Captain Tony's. We got some sort of rum punch in a souvenir cup, which was good. And Captain Tony's, I think it's like the oldest bar in Florida, it said.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's right on the main strip. So I'm like, we got to go.
Which that was also really yummy.
It was really good. So I guess, yeah, Key West, they got some good drinks.
I will give them that. Like, as a non-drinker or a non-heavy drinker, like, I can drink in Key West if needed.
So yeah, then we got that last drink. I had to chug. I still have my drink from the last bar, but I'm like, we got.
Yeah, he's like standing there double fisting, and I'm like holding half-pound cookies in my hands, and I'm like,
it's 4:17.
It's 4:21 now.
I gotta so I had to finish both drinks, and then chocolate covered key lime pie on a stick is my absolute must in Key West every time. So there's a shop right outside where the cruise docks. So we got right back to the ship, and it's just this little convenience store. You walk right by it when you get on and off the ship, and they have chocolate covered key lime pie on a stick. It's a must do.
So good.
It's so good.
But yeah, he was tipsy.
I was.
I was anxious.
Had to get back to the ship.
I was like, it's 4:28. What are we doing? And he's like sitting on a bench, tipsy as all hell.
Key lime pie.
Eating key lime pie.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. But we did, in fact, make it back to the ship. All was well. Did we do anything?
Yes. We laid by the pool because I thought you died.
Yeah. Okay, so we got back at 4:30. We had like 2 hours before.
He was so... And like... It takes him a little while to like get tipsy. So,
but Key West will also do that to you.
Yeah. So we get back on the ship and he was like slowly getting there. And I'm like, let's go lay out. You know, like,
but also I had to get another drink. There was this drink I really wanted, a popsicle mimosa.
Oh, Oh, I forgot about that.
And that one is the thing that did me in. On top of the 6 drinks in Key West, I was pretty much fine. But the popsicle mimosa, once we got back on board, sealed the deal.
It was. So we're laying by the pool, enjoying our time. I'm reading my silly little book.
I had my popsicle mimosa, and then I was out like a light.
But wait. I'm reading. I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, we should probably be getting ready for dinner. So I'm sitting directly next to him, and I'm tapping him. And I'm like, Josh. And I'm pushing him, shaking his body. And I literally sat up so quickly, and I'm freaking out, checking his stomach to see if it's moving, if he was breathing, because I thought you had died.
Yeah,
I
was
were
out.
There was no waking him up, nothing. And so I'm shaking him, and finally he's like,
hey.
Hello, and I'm like, I think it's time to get ready, and he's like, okay. I'm like, no, we gotta go.
I awoke from the deepest slumber. That was crazy.
It was crazy for me too. I had no idea that you were that out.
I didn't either until I woke up and was like, whoa, where was I?
Yeah. Captain Tony's.
So yeah, but it was a nice day in port overall. A great day so far. We had the night ahead of us, but I enjoyed the day up until then. And then we got back to the room, showered, changed for dinner. We did dinner in the main dining room. I think this was a better experience, way better than the first day. I don't know how or why.
Me neither,
but
really.
Our meal was better. We had the same server from the night before, which was nice.
Yeah, dinner was really lovely. They brought you a cake. Which
we
was
had a
so
table
sweet.
right by the window too, and because we were eating early, the sun was setting while we were at dinner, so we got to enjoy the nice views. They sang to me, brought me a cake, so it was very nice. They celebrated me, and dinner was actually pretty good for a cruise ship. But after dinner, we stopped at the Martini Bar because we hadn't really been there. We got our shot there last night, but we didn't go sit at the ice bar and get a martini. So I wanted to do that. We got one of those. Got talking to some people, meeting cruise friends.
Which, a thing to mention about the Martini Bar. If you are easily offended, maybe don't go. Okay, we were on a cruise with a lot of adults. A lot of tipsy adults celebrating big fun things.
Yeah.
Bachelorettes, bachelors, birthdays, all of the fun things.
Of course. And some people might have naughty senses of humor.
Yes, and may or may not have drawn in the ice top bar some very
obscene images.
Yes.
Which I didn't mind. It's not offending me.
We
Have your
had
fun.
a giggle. We had a little chuckle.
But this lady sitting next to us was appalled.
Furious,
She was
even.
taking
She
her
was
cruise card, scraping it.
everything. She was scraping the ice into a pile. And she's like, they really need to control this. I can't believe they haven't cleaned this up. And the vibe of the bartenders at that bar was they just do not care.
No.
They were having fun.
Yeah.
They were being boys together. They just really didn't care what people were doing. She did.
She did.
In fact, and she wanted it gone.
And gone she made it.
Yes, she literally was like, give me your card, and was scraping the ice top bar.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And we were sitting there like,
yeah,
we
it's
can't
so
believe
horrible.
it.
Why would anybody do that? Meanwhile, we're the ones who drew it.
No, literally. I'm sitting there drawing my little things, and she's scraping it. But anyways.
But then we went up. They had a pool party. So I didn't know this before. This is another wish we had known. I guess we should prepare better. Another bonus wish we had known. Celebrity cruises, and I'm pretty sure this is across the fleet. They have this shimmer party. I don't know. But you're supposed to wear silver. It was a fun party at the pool, which we love a good pool party, good music. And it was really fun. I had a good time.
So much fun.
They had good music, and they actually had the performers from the show would randomly pop up and start singing and dancing, and it was really fun.
It was really fun.
They gave us all these light up sticks, and it was just
not glow sticks,
big foam, glow sticks, and it was
so
really
fun. It was really fun.
That was a good, pack your silver outfit for your celebrity cruise.
Yes.
So you can be on
a
theme.
silver sparkle.
Yes, but it was really fun. And then I think we got some pizza, then went to the nightclub, did some dancing, went to the casino.
The usual.
Yeah, and that pretty much rounded out our night. It was a long day.
It was a really long day. I think we didn't get back to the room until
definitely after midnight. After 1, maybe.
Yeah.
So it was a late night, but it was a fun birthday. Had a blast. So I couldn't have asked for a better day.
Oh, good.
But then day 3, last day of the cruise, quickly approached. Today we were in Bimini, which I just gotta say, it's so beautiful. I love Bimini.
Bimini is beautiful.
The bluest water I've ever seen.
Now, Bimini has the Virgin Voyages Beach Club.
They do. So not many cruise lines go to Bimini. It's mostly Virgin Voyages, and then they have the Beach Club where if you're on a Virgin Voyages cruise, it's included, and that's nice. Now, when you're not on a Virgin Voyages cruise, you can still go to that Beach Club, but it is an added charge. I think it was like $60 a person.
I don't know.
But
we'd both done it before for free, so we just were not about to do that.
We're like, let's try something new.
Yeah.
Now, another big thing in Bimini is you can rent golf carts.
Now, be ready to swindle. Be ready to
do a little haggling.
Do a little haggle. Do a little, ¿cómo se dice? Bartering. Yeah. Okay. So we got off the ship. We walked the length of the pier.
There is a shuttle too, but the line was really long.
Yes, so get off early or walk.
Yeah.
We walked. It wasn't too bad. No. Probably like 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah. It really wasn't bad.
And then right when you get off the pier, though, they're ready. Golf cart.
Yeah, he came up to us, and we're like already planning on getting a golf cart. He's like, "Do you guys want a golf cart today?" Totally was planning on getting a golf cart, and we were like, maybe. Anyways, so he's selling us. And he's talking.
He's like, I got this brand new golf cart. The plastic's still on it. You're going to be so safe. It's going to be amazing.
I'm like, okay, how much? And what did he say?
$120.
$120. And I'm like, side eye.
She did really good here. She pulled the quick one out.
Yeah. And I said, you know what, sir? I was here 2 weeks ago and you were charging people $80. What's the deal? Why is it all of a sudden $120?
But then he was like, oh, because on Virgin Voyages, nobody rents golf carts, so we do them cheaper. And he was like, you were on Virgin, right? And we're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I totally was a year ago. And he was like, oh, we consider that a slow day, blah, 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 blah. So then he's like, look at this big, beautiful, whatever golf cart. And I'm like, listen, I don't need it to be big and beautiful. I just need it to run. But then he was like, I can give you this one, but it's not as nice and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't need it to be nice and beautiful. I just need it to work. And then he took us to this rinky-dink one. And I was like...
It was rinky-dink, but it was pink. And it was pretty cool. It was pink
and fun. But he's standing there and he's like, oh, well, this one, like... blah, blah. And I'm like, then I'm not paying you $100. Why am I going to pay you $100 to potentially break down? What are you talking about, sir? No. And he's like, no. Like, you'll be safe. So I'm like, whatever. Give me the keys. Yeah, I'll give you your $100. Give me the keys.
And we knew it was going to be $100, but the haggle, we weren't paying more than $100. So
yeah, to start off at 120 was bonkers. Bold of you. Really bold. Really, if you're listening, Bimini Bahamas, man, bold.
So yeah, I was hoping for 80, but since he started so high, I was okay with 100 and knew it was probably going to be around there.
And we got our pretty pink princess golf cart.
And it was fun. It was kind of raggedy. The wheel kind of turned on its own sometimes. We had trouble stopping and starting at points. So yes, the other one maybe would have been nicer, but it was a fun adventure.
And it was worth it.
It was worth it.
We had a blast.
We did have fun. So we started off, we went all the way to the end. It's only like 7 miles long, if that, Bimini. So we drove all the way to the end and ended up at this one beach, which was pretty cool.
It was so cool. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
There were quite a bit of people there. It got crowded really fast.
And it was a little rocky, but like once you could get in one way and it was fine. And it was beautiful and it was nice. No facilities. It was just a beach. There's no facilities anywhere because this is just a pretty small island. And then we decided to move on. We were going to go to the Dolphin House. My family was in Bimini a few months before, and they were like, they rented a golf cart, and they were like, you got to go to the Dolphin House. It's amazing. It's like this museum, and this house was built out of recycled materials, which looked cool, but we couldn't find the Dolphin House. So yeah, we circled like a couple times, and we're like, you know what? We can't find the Dolphin House. Let's just go to the beach. So Radio Beach is like the more popular touristy place. So we pulled our golf cart in there. We had some lunch.
Super good food.
I don't know what the name of the place was.
There were quite a few little restaurants right on the side of the beach.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. But yeah, there was this row of like beach huts with food, and the food was good, and it was decently affordable. We grabbed a drink, grabbed some lunch, and then while we were doing our rounds looking for the Dolphin House, we saw this beach further down that was empty.
Stunning.
It was beautiful. So after we had lunch, we went further down on Radio Beach and had this private beach to ourselves.
Yeah.
And it was, I wish we had spent the whole day there had we known. It was incredible.
It was beautiful.
And
clear blue water. Really, really, like, just a lot of space. There was nobody around us. It was so nice.
It was so nice. So it was along the Queens Highway, and we entered the beach. There was like stairs down to the beach at the sign that says Queens Highway. So if you're driving through Bimini and you have a golf cart, look for the sign that says Queens Highway. You're going to have the beach to yourself. There was maybe one other group there of like 2 people. So we pretty much had the beach to ourselves, and it was incredible. One of the best beaches I've been to in a while.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The water was super clear. The sand was super soft, and it was so nice.
It was so nice. Yeah, we spent like an hour there just because we had to get back to the ship.
Yeah, but we just relaxed and finished off our day in the sun, soaking up those vitamins.
But then unfortunately we had to go back to the ship. We returned our golf cart and made it back on board.
It was time to get ready for our lovely specialty dining experience.
Yes, again, we ate at the Tuscan Grill, which is like the Italian steakhouse on board, to kind of celebrate my birthday and round out our trip. And it was really good.
It was so delicious.
And
And we would know because we ordered
the entire menu.
We truly did not stop.
No, but we had to try everything because with the cover price, it includes everything.
Yes.
So we're like, oh, yeah, I need that. I need that. I need that.
Yeah. So we go, mind you, be prepared. It's a lengthy experience.
Yes. It was at least like 2.5 hours dinner, I think.
Which I kind of appreciated.
Yeah.
Because we were eating so much food that having time in between courses was a must.
Yeah.
So necessary. I don't think we would have made it if it was as like consistent as the main dining room is. Oh Lord.
And
anyways,
our server even said like, okay, I'll give you some time to before the next course to
like,
digest.
I'll give you some time to digest. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to. So we go, and I'm like, we're celebrating a birthday. Can we please get sat by the window? And he's like, yes, of course, absolutely. I'm like, perfect.
And we head to the window, and we're like, this is great.
We're headed towards the window, and I'm like, why is my window frosted? It was not, in fact, frosted. It was, in fact, cracked.
So they put a frosted film to hold the window together.
So there was a film over the window.
So she could not see out of her window.
No
during
ocean
dinner.
view.
It was so terrible.
Frosted, cracked window view. It was devastating, but
all the other tables were full too. It's not like we could have said, hey, let's go over there.
yeah, every other window table was taken. But as long as birthday boy had the window seat, I really couldn't care less. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I was like, come on now.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Be so for real. But when we say we ordered literally everything on the menu, we ordered literally everything on the menu. Like anything you want to try, we tried.
We had like every starter, like 4 different types of pasta. We each had a filet mignon.
Not even kidding. Our table was full.
It was.
We each had 2 sides, a filet mignon, 2 different kinds of pastas each. But we tried everything. And then our dessert.
We tried everything but one because there was one that didn't.
Everything but the strawberry shortcake. And I was like, if it's anything like what was at the cafe, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So we had literally every dessert, which, oh my God, the pistachio creme brulee. Please get it.
The lemon cheesecake.
Oh my God.
That was incredible.
The food was fantastic.
It was definitely worth the
Worth
price.
it. Go. It was so delicious. It was such a luxury experience. It felt so elevated and classy. And they like turned down the lights when it got dark. And and we got a bottle of champagne.
We
and
did. Yeah. It was just a nice experience.
It was lovely. It was a great dinner.
Yeah.
Yay, birthday dinner.
A great end to the birthday cruise.
Yes. But after that,
we went to the silent disco party. That was in the grand foyer. Now, this one didn't feel as packed as the other parties.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference was. Yeah. You know what? I do know what the difference was. Because it was a silent disco and everyone had headphones on, when you were in the open space, you were still part of the party. It wasn't like you had left the party because you had to be where the music was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Like it wasn't like there was a band. It was like you had your own headphones, you were in your own little world, and there were groups like off to the side in their own groups listening to their own headphones. Yeah. So people were scattered like everywhere on this floor. Like it wasn't just one section.
Yeah, I guess that's probably
And
right.
there were people up on the levels with headphones on.
Yeah.
Like people were just scattered with headphones on.
But it was really fun.
It was so
We stayed
love
for
a
the
silent
whole
disco.
hour, I think. And it was getting hot and toasty, but we were having fun.
Yeah, and we were so full.
Yeah.
Like
Post 3-hour dinner at the Tuscan Grove.
We were still having the time of our lives, just with like little bubbly tummies.
It was like, ooh.
Yeah. But towards the end of it, we were like, not a good idea, but still so fun.
It was so much fun. And then we went to the casino for a little bit. I lost all my money. And then we ended the night up at the club.
Yeah.
In the club.
Which we
It's
don't
not
usually
like
do
us.
nowadays.
But that also was really fun.
Yeah. It was. The vibes were good.
Yeah, the DJ in there was really good.
Which I also think that sometimes the people who are on the cruise with you kind of make the cruise, even if you
100%.
don't mingle with them, like the energy has to be there.
And because there were so many groups and everybody was just there to celebrate and have fun.
Yes, we were surrounded by like bachelorette parties, and I think you had even gotten a drink, and there were these random groups of people, and these guys were like the hype of the cruise. Like everywhere we went, they were there, and they were hype. They had to have been there for like a bachelor party of some sort, but they were like pulling me into dance, and I was like, okay, this is the vibe. Like this is what I needed. This is what I want to happen when I'm like clubbing on a cruise. Like because sometimes
really
you'll go
fun.
up there and people are like sitting around the dance floor having drinks, and I'm like, why is nobody dancing?
Yeah. And it was a good age range on board. I think I hear celebrity, and I've also thought like maybe older, maybe not as fun, but it was, I'd say there was a lot of like 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Like there was a good age range as well as older people, but it was a nice mix of ages, I think.
I agree.
So
I agree.
It was a good time.
But that was...
I think that was the Celebrity Silhouette, our 3-day cruise, birthday cruise. It was really fun. I could not have asked for a better birthday trip.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
It was really fun. Celebrity, our first celebrity cruise. We, I think, fell in love with Celebrity Cruise. There was just a vibe. I don't even know how to describe it, but...
It just felt luxurious without being...
stuffy.
Yeah.
But still fun, but not like too fun. I don't know. It was just perfect.
Yes. I agree.
Really enjoyed Celebrity. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah. Really can't wait to go back.
But now that we've recapped our cruise on the Celebrity Silhouette, we wish you guys were here too. So let's get into the wish you were here's. Again, if you don't know, this is our segment where we want to hear from you guys. So visit passportpalspodcast.com. We want to hear your crazy travel takes, crazy travel stories, so we can react to them right here on the podcast.
Crazy travel opinions.
Yeah,
Do you
let's
hate
know.
Key West?
Do you hate Key West? Let's talk about it. Okay, so... Again, we don't have many wish you were here's because we pre-filmed a lot of these. So again, we want your input. Please visit passportpalspodcast.com.
Yes, we want to hear.
Yeah, so we can get your info. But I did post an Instagram story just to get a few quickly, and we asked some more friends and family. So let's get into the wish you were here's.
All right, so this one is from Diana, aka my mom.
Hey.
So my mom, she's a world traveler. She's kind of been everywhere. But essentially, she, in her 20s, backpacked through Europe. So this is a little story about her experience. So after traveling by train from Italy to Barcelona, in a train packed by spring break travelers with only standing room, I finally arrived in Barcelona, exhausted but excited to connect with my family. After sitting in a train station, it was time to look for a hotel. I ended up meeting two young ladies also traveling alone, each of them backpacking through Europe alone, all three of us from different countries, and we decided to team up and go to a recommended hostel that had 2 rooms available. Wow. We grabbed a taxi and we were on our way to another adventure. A kink in the original plan, but hey, 2 new friends, a place to shower and sleep. It's all good. Or so I thought.
Oh no.
The hostel was, well, a hostel. It was cheap, so there you have it. We got to our room and one of my new friends sat on the bed and the entire thing collapsed. Completely came apart as if it was made out of straw and she was on the floor. We ended up in hysterical laughter. It was funny. We laughed a lot and we bonded and had a great time, even with a broken bed and sleeping on the floor. Unexpected, but so much fun.
It is so fun.
It is so fun. We have never stayed in a hostel.
No, I was going to say I don't know if I would, but I think I could.
You do?
I don't know. Do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stranger danger, baby. I am so afraid of hostels. Now, I have friends who have backpacked through Europe, like our age, and have stayed in hostels and have literal horror stories.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it is kind of scary. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I wouldn't be against
It's
hosteling.
like living in like a dorm temporarily with strangers who are not in college and are not there for the same reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it is scary.
You got to take care of your stuff. I would not sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be afraid that someone was going to like attack me or take my things or drug me.
I guess I've seen hostels where it's like where the beds, you have your own curtain and it's like a little box. Like, it's still a big shared space, but I would like a curtain and my own little box in the shared space.
I don't think I could do it.
Like, I wouldn't be sleeping on bunk beds with strangers in a room, but if I had my own box with a curtain, I think I could.
No.
But what I did like about that story, it's just so fun meeting people traveling the world. Like, how fun is that? Just 3 solo gals gallivanting through Spain.
Yeah. I think that's super cool. I mean, we have met some incredible friends along our travels, and you see them in our intro video. We miss our friends so much, all of our travel friends. But yeah, I think honestly, like, we're not super duper social people.
Not at all,
but we really do meet at least one person, I think, on all of our trips where we're like, oh,
we're besties now.
Yeah, like, remember them?
Yeah.
We should reach out or like add us on Facebook or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so from what I take from my mother's experiences is, 1, I will not be staying in a hostel. And 2, like, it's okay to be adventurous and make friends and connect with people who are kind of on the same journey as you. And maybe not on the same journey as you. You could be there for different reasons,
but still
still connect and have fun together.
Yeah. That's so fun.
What is your... It's 11:11. Make a wish.
Okay. Now that we've made our wish. Again, these are just from my Instagram until you guys fill out our form on our website. But I gotta say, there's some naughty people out there. Most of these are risque.
What?
Like, most of them were like, yeah, I hooked up with this person, this crew member, this person. Like, that's what most of your people's travel stories were. Which, good for you guys. But there's so many, oh, I hooked up with this person. Oh, I did this. Let's read a few of them.
What? My mom listens to this.
I don't think any of them are graphic, but...
I don't care.
Mohara says, on an NCL cruise, hooked up with the captain's son who was on board.
Good for you. You know, good for you, girl.
VS Queasy hooked up with a crew member. Definitely hooking up with another stranger I met on a plane.
On a plane? You know what I'm doing on a plane? Putting my headphones in, putting my sleep mask on and shutting up. And everyone else better be doing the same too. What are you doing talking to strangers on planes?
I hooked up with a casino dealer on land in the Bahamas. Onboard relations is a big no. I guess they found the loophole.
You guys are crazy.
It's Venus went on a cruise for 4 nights and had a cruise relationship with a Dutch guy. Congrats, Venus.
Good for you, Venus.
So yeah, that's all there. Let's see if there's anything.
That's it?
No, there's more, but those were all the hookup submissions.
You know what?
Good for you guys.
No.
Okay, Clipper Gill says small cruise ships under 800 people are way better than mega ships.
I'm with you.
Yes and no.
Tell us more.
I don't know. We've talked about this on previous episodes, but I don't know. I like a small ship. I could have a great time on a small ship, but the bigger ships sometimes have some fun things to offer. Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy a small ship.
I find it interesting that you want to do a river cruise.
But that you're going for the small ship into the destination.
See, the way that I think about a small ship is like similar to the luxury of a river cruise. Mm. It's a more exclusive experience. Like I'm enjoying my vacation without being surrounded by screaming children and huge groups and huge families and you know, people running from opportunity to opportunity and fighting for a headphone at the silent disco. And I don't know. I feel like there's less FOMO on smaller ships too. Like you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. You're okay with just relaxing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. I'm with you.
Yeah, Clipper Gill.
Thank you, Clipper Gill.
Kevin, when he was traveling to Japan for the first time, got free business class upgrades. I'm jealous, Kevin.
Kevin? How?
How? Please.
That's crazy.
Yes, but to get to Japan, that's got to be a long flight.
Yeah, what?
Free business class upgrade.
What did you do?
Yeah. Did you like slip the flight attendants a little
Were
gift
you
card?
also doing some hooking up? That's crazy. That's so cool.
Zach said he once partied at a mansion in Costa Rica with people he met at a bar.
That's fun.
That is so fun.
Slay, Costa Rica.
But yeah, I think that's all the Wish You Were Here's we have for now. Again, passportpalspodcast.com. Please leave us a travel story, hot travel take, or
opinion. Anything you want to share.
Yes, so we can talk about it, react, tell you what we think too.
Please don't let it be graphic. We will not talk about it. Please do not be explicit.
But if you are, we'll see you then too.
I mean, we'll see it. The masses won't. But if you want to get mentioned, keep it a little PG-13 maybe.
Yeah. 13. But with that was our trip on the Celebrity Silhouette.
Have a good weekend. Thanks for getting started with us.
Yes, thank you.
Let's sail into the weekend.
Ooh, I like that. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, do all the things. If you are listening to us, please leave us a review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Where to next?